Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. It's 2026 now, 4 months in, and here we are, first video of the year. And some things happen in my personal life. I don't want to get too far into it, but I'm back. Let's get into it. Today, we're going to be cooking out of this Old World Italian by Mimi Thorrison. This is actually the first cookbook that I've ever owned, and the first few dishes I made out of it, I didn't like. And so this is kind of a redemption for me. One of the dishes we're making today is something I've never made out of here before, but the other one is something I have made. One of the dishes in here that I'm looking forward to making one day is this calamari. Oh, you can't even see that. I'll take a picture and load it in. But I want to make this one day. Not today. I can't find squid of this size, so what you gonna do? What we are gonna be making today is, there's the Kit Kat, is we're gonna be making polpette al forno con mozzarella, or baked meatballs with tomato sauce and mozzarella as our main dish. And then as our side dish, I'm going to be making a roasted pepper salad, which that's the one I've made before, and I didn't like it. I think I used too many breadcrumbs. I didn't use the right breadcrumbs. I didn't do things right, and it felt bland, and just like there were too many red peppers, there was too much breadcrumb, there was too much olive oil. It sucked. I've had this book for damn near 10 years, 15 years at this point, so I hope I've learned some stuff and I can do these dishes justice. So let's get into it. Like I said, there's a whole bunch in here. This first like 50 pages are just like some basic pastas, and then just pictures of Italy and her life there and everything. So anyways, this is what we're making today. Roasted red pepper salad. Let me get my book. Stand. We're gonna take 4 red peppers. The recipe calls for 8. That just seems like way too much to me, especially because I'm making this for myself. So it just says to roast them. So we just put them in like this, whole, and we just roast them under the broiler. So I'm gonna just do that, I guess. While those are broiling, I need some garlic. I'm gonna need a lot of garlic today, so get a bunch of it thinly sliced. Okay, garlic's done. That's enough garlic for both dishes. The other recipe needs 1 medium red onion diced. So I got my 1 medium red onion. And we're just gonna slice and dice. So the red onion was for the tomato sauce, for the thing. So we also are gonna need a small onion finely chopped. I just got another white onion. These are gonna be some uneven dices on here. That's fine. I'm a home cook. I ain't a professional. I also haven't cooked in like 3 months. That's not true. I've cooked a little bit. I've been making some pizzas. They're on the Instagram. You'll see. I think that's everything prepped. Yeah. I also need some breadcrumbs. So to make the breadcrumbs, I'm just gonna take some bread. I'm gonna stick them in the oven with the, while the things are under the broiler. I'm gonna put these on the bottom shelf and see what happens. I just need to make sure this is enough. And then I need to take off the crusts. Now all these crusts could be for the birds. I watched documentaries on this YouTube channel thingy here. One of the ones I watched was on these bingo addicts. And this old lady just like, she goes to the bingo hall, she sits down, she eats her breakfast, she cuts the crusts off, she makes the food, and then takes it, and then at the hall cuts the crusts off, and then goes outside to the back alley, throws it out in the back alley, and just goes, "This is for the birds. There's over here." And just goes back inside. And I just thought that was so funny, because it seemed like such a juxtaposition of she really cared, and then just once she got out there, she was like, fuck it. Ain't that most of life? We really care until we start to do something. Well, that's not true, actually. Most of life, we really do care, and we really do things. So anyways, I'm going to throw these in the oven on the bottom shelf. They're far enough away from the broiler that I think they'll be okay. I just need to make sure I check on them regularly, because I just want to get them dry and crusty. And then I'm just going to put those in the food processor. You don't need to see it. Breadcrumbs. These seem roasty toasty and beautiful. So we're going to just take them out, let them cool. Crusty bread. I'm going to take this, throw it in the food processor. Breadcrumbs with garlic. We're going to take some olive oil. Not too much. Remembering that was one of the things that I did wrong last time. It was too much. So we're going to heat that up. So our olive oil's heated up. We're going to take in our breadcrumbs. 1.5 cups there. We're just going to toast these, she says. So these are cool enough now to the touch that we can peel them. So we're going to peel them, and then we're going to cut them into 1/2-inch strips. We'll cut these into strips. Come back over to the stove. Stove cam. There's our breadcrumbs. Nice and golden and toasted. Okay, in this same pan, and we're gonna add in the peppers and cook until they're very tender. They're already very tender, so I don't quite know what this next step is for. In fact, no. Okay, yeah, so I'm just gonna not do it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna move on to our pulpette. I'm gonna throw in some olive oil into our Dutch oven. Then, got that heating up, we're going to throw in all of our onions. Cook until tender. Throw in our garlic, remaining garlic. Turn the heat down a little bit. I threw in a little bit more oil because the onion is starting to burn on the bottom. Not burn, but brown. It's not exactly what we want. We also need to throw in some red pepper flakes. 1/4 teaspoon? Recipe calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. That's a 1/4 teaspoon. That's not enough. So I'm gonna just make a judgment call. Do a little bit more. Now we're gonna put in our tomatoes. Canned, diced. I can only find diced. They're crushed, so. 1/2 cup of red wine. 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. That's a tablespoon, right? And then a teaspoon of dried oregano. She called for dried. No one get mad at me. So a full teaspoon. So that's gonna be 4 of these. I'm gonna give this a mix. Salt. I like a lot of salt. We know that. And a shitload of pep. We're just gonna let this simmer until we're done. Cover and simmer. Final step, we're gonna be making the meatballs here. 1/2 pound of beef, 1/2 pound of pork. I did that backwards. This is the pork, this is the beef. We're gonna crumble this into a large bowl. So I'm just gonna get in here with my hands and mix it up. I'm gonna take off my accoutrements. These are mixed, solidified into one big pork and beef mass. We're then going to add our onion. This is the white onion. I'm gonna do half. She said 1 small white onion. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna consider this like a medium onion. So we'll do that. Breadcrumbs, some shoot. We need more garlic. of extra breadcrumbs. This is exhilarating to watch, isn't it? And then, so we've got onions, breadcrumbs, garlic, a little bit more oregano, cream, egg, parsley, and Parmesan. None of that's on the ingredient list, and I only have cream and Parmesan. Okay, lesson learned to read the recipes in this book. It also doesn't say, if you look at the meatball section here, there's no oregano, there's no cream, there's no egg, there's no parsley, there's no Parmesan. I'm not going to the store. We'll follow our heart. 1.5 teaspoons, I guess. And then I have some cream. Ooh, not a lot. Not a whole lot of cream. I don't know how much Parmesan. I hope that's enough. You can tell I'm not very pleased, mostly at myself, because I know better to read ahead, and I didn't. So, all right, some cream. Obviously we don't want too much, so I hope that's enough. Also need some salt in there too. Pepper as well. And then I'm just gonna mix this up and form it into meatballs, I guess. Keeping in mind, I needed parsley and egg added to this as well, but I mean, now we're gonna shape these into meatballs. We're gonna form these into meatballs about 1.5 inches in diameter. And then we're gonna dredge them in flour. I'm just gonna do it in this bowl. I'm not worried about cross-contamination or anything because but we're just gonna do this for all of them. Roll your balls in white powder. Dr. Roxo would be proud. We're gonna go back to the stove. We're gonna sear these in a skillet. Oh, it's on page 2, next to the picture. Okay. I accept. I messed up. It said to work in batches, but I think my plate's big enough. Okay, these are pretty browned up. We're gonna take these and we're gonna put them in the sauce. Okay, we've got our meatballs in there. And then we're gonna, one of them kind of broke apart. But we're gonna then also kind of cover this as much as we can with mozzarella. Because I was supposed to buy 2 things of mozzarella balls. Because I can't read apparently, and didn't realize that there were gonna be more ingredients on the second page. So, there's my mozzarella and Parmesan covered meatballs. We're gonna cover it and we're gonna put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. So I'll come back to you in 45 minutes. I'm real excited for this. Aww. I bet you it'd look better if I had actually read the fucking book and put on 2 layers of the mozzarella. Okay, well, let's plate up. I'm gonna be honest, this looks really good, and I've tasted a little bit of the sauce, and it seems like it's gonna taste freaking fantastic, and I'm really excited for this. This was kind of a redemption. A lot of things went wrong today, and that's fine. I can't read, so I'm really glad that I did this as well. It's like I said, redemption arc with this book. The red peppers with the breadcrumbs, I did sprinkle a little bit of salt on there. She did say to also put basil on it as an optional kind of accoutrement. That's really good. get into these meatballs here. So a little bit of tomato sauce. That tastes like a tomato sauce. And it tastes good. Tomato sauce is delicious. There's a reason we make them so much. And the meatball, also good. Very decent. It's not like wowing me, but I don't think it needs to. I think this is a dish, it's just good food. So, I hope you all are doing well in your lives, and that's the end of this episode. Bon appetit.